Hello, everybody. Welcome back to session 0, our D&D playthrough of the Curse of Strahd. Today, we have the two groups merging. It's been a long time coming. Unfortunately, we do have a couple of players, both Amber and Liana, who won't be with us today. But we do have Tristan back as Drasil. We'll see where we go. So where we left off, with the party of Artemis, Raven, Van Helsing, and Lucifer, you hunted a werewolf through the woods until you were thrust into the mist. You met the seer, who asked you a series of questions before you were jettisoned onto the Slavic road. You found a letter on a deceased victim, and the letter was promptly stolen by one of your would-be allies. Echo, Tuwuwu, Drasil, and Atlas, you've just arrived at the cusp of the village of Barovia with an unconscious Drasil in your arms. And that's where we'll pick things up. Again, as you're looking over the village, tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence except for mournful sobbing that echoes from a distance. So you have exited the woods and you see the village before you. What would you like to do?
I'm
gonna go look for a bar.
Right. So I did miss that. I did miss saying that. So Artemis and Raven, I gotta think. Team 2.
Yeah.
Where we left off. So you guys have entered the village. You guys were the goal because you had been out hunting for a while and you were on the edge of exhaustion. You guys did enter the town to locate a tavern to get some rest. So that is where you are currently until we get everyone together.
I'm gonna go downstairs, I guess, to the tavern, locate a empty table, and listen to any talk to find out if we have anything we should be wary of in the town. Is that something we can do?
Absolutely. So you are currently at a tavern called the Blood of the Vine. You arrived pretty late in the evening, and there's not many people there save for one lonely barkeep and 3 Vistani women who you recognize to be the owners. There's not much conversation going on currently. They're just counting coin.
All right.
But you're talking amongst yourselves and you're recuperating from the heck of a night you just had.
All right.
So what's the goal between both teams, both groups? Are we trying to find each other? Is that the goal or what?
We know nothing of the second group. We're just coming out of the mist and into the forest, and I think we need to go find a place to rest as we have Drasil unconscious.
Okay, I see.
Still pretty shooken up by seeing the seer.
So we're in different paths from them currently.
They're currently in the town, and we are just now coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you've come in the same way, and not to kind of railroad the story, but if that's what you'd like to do, if there's nothing you'd like to do first, if you'd like to look for a tavern, you could certainly find that pretty easily.
I see.
Unless there's something you'd
Alright.
like to do beforehand.
So we hear crying in the woods. Is that correct?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the crying is coming from the direction of town
Okay.
as we're coming out. So going down our trail, we will hear the crying, and we will also hit
Into
anything.
the town.
Right.
Right.
So to give you a little more detail, as you approach the town, as you get closer, you can see, although you were promised a land of wealth and beauty and rays of sunshine, the sky is overcast over buildings that are all dilapidated. The streets are covered in mud, and you do hear sobbing from not one building, but many buildings, as this is a pain-stricken, weary, and poor town.
Kind of a desolate town.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this looks like nothing we've been promised. All right, Atlas, what do you think we should do?
The first thing I would like to do is just make a perception check to see if I can feel any magic in the air. Just kind of checking my surroundings magically, just to kind of get a feel of the land.
You're looking for magic specifically? Well, that would be that
magic
would,
specifically. I'm just
Okay.
looking just to kind of see, the mood. If I see anyone crying, if I see anyone running around, just to kind of
Sure.
get a better idea of where we're at.
Sure, you can roll a perception.
I'll say perception. That sounds more like investigation. What you just said, Atlas.
Well, if you're looking for something specific, it would be investigation. But if you're just trying to get a holistic kind of idea,
Yeah.
then sure.
And that's 19.
Okay.
Nice.
So no, you don't. There's not a lot of activity. Again, it is late. However, you see maybe one or two people kind of hurriedly trudging through the mud, just on their way inside. There aren't many lamps in the city, so everyone is cloaked in dark brown and blue and gray fabrics, hoods up from the weather, and it's hard to discern any real features at this stage.
Gotcha.
I want to apologize if you guys can hear our son.
It's okay.
No, absolutely. No, we can't, but no, it's no trouble at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, he's being loud tonight.
Okay.
I think, although this place seems pretty upside down, I think that the best thing to do is to rest our heads and for the night turn in and see if we can figure anything out about the seer and try to get Trusil back out of his sleeping state.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Okay. So, Team 1, which is Atlas, Echo, Tuwuwu, and the unconscious Trusil. As you're walking through the maze of buildings, and they're crooked, almost like they've grown up out of the earth. You do see a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square. Its brightness looking like a solid pillar of light in the heavy fog. And above a gaping doorway, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming it to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern. Lucifer and Van Helsing, as you and the others sit at the table that you acquired, you're talking purely amongst yourselves when you see a half-orc, a human rogue, and a sorcerer carrying an unconscious young dragonborn enter the tavern.
Ooh la la.
Okay, well, I think we are going to head upstairs. I just kind of look to the barkeep and ask if there's any open rooms available in the tavern.
Are the other party members that we're going to be going up with, are they currently in the call right now, or?
This is everybody. The only people that are missing are Amber and Liana that were in your party last time.
Raven and Artemis are currently, they would be with you, but they're not currently here today.
Okay.
So they're probably just gonna chill at the tavern.
Yeah, they're gonna kind of stay quiet. If combat arises, I will be playing for Artemis as well, but
Okay.
Now, I will say this: as Artemis is not here, she picked up upon seeing the seer. When you left the mist, she found an orb about this size, like a crystal ball, and she picked it up and brought it with you. Now, when the second party of strangers enters the building, she takes it out as she notices it does begin to hum slightly.
Okay.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay. So, Tawuwa, you're being very quiet.
I'm carrying baby dragon.
All right. Well, are we calling it a night? Are we getting drunk?
do I notice the?
Did I hear someone say drunk?
Yes.
I mean, I might have a few seats open.
Really? What's your name?
Lucifer, what about you?
Oh, that's a lovely name. My name is Echo. These are my friends. We'd love to have a drink with you.
Delightful.
I just kind of look up and go, and just shake my head. I'm Van Helsing.
Nice to meet you.
So, do you sit down at the table?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I put baby dragon.
On the table.
So you lay Drusilla on the table, at which point the humming from this orb begins to almost vibrate to a point of shaking the table.
Ooh.
It lights up with a kind of a pale green light. And to fill everyone in as well, at the end of the last session with Drusilla, everyone spoke to the seer and woke up in these Svalak woods. However, Drusilla was left in the clutches of the seer for the time being. So when this orb and Drusilla come close together, there seems to definitely be a reaction.
What is that strange orb that you guys have?
Oh, here comes Mr. Wizard Man.
I don't know.
Can I roll to investigate the orb?
Please do.
I rolled a 6 plus 3, so 9.
Okay. So you get closer to examine it, and you can see kind of a swirling mist inside the orb. But the closer you look, you begin to see flashes of shapes. They're not very clear at first, but you specifically begin to see what looks like a battle, a war, soldiers on both sides. Definitely reminiscent of any type of military experience that you might have specifically.
Can I investigate the connection between the orb and Drusilla?
Okay.
Okay.
And right now, again, just to give you a visual, you have Drusilla laying on the table. His eyes
Right.
again are wide open, but cold with that haze over his eyes, and the orb that is just laying there in the center of the table.
Okay, so I'm rolling for investigation.
Sure.
Okay.
And where currently is the orb sitting?
It's just kind of she had it in her hands, but when it started to vibrate, she kind of dropped it and it rolled and is kind of slowly rolling in the center of the table, with an energy with seemingly nowhere to go.
So I
But-
rolled 16 plus 5.
Absolutely. Let me. I don't have
this
my
is
notes.
gonna be
I don't
this
have
is gonna
my
have to be
notes.
improv. That's the hard part for you.
No, I plan things. 1 second. Okay, you. What do you see?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the young dragonborn has he lost any hit points? Is that the reason why he's been petrified pretty much?
Has he lost any what? I'm sorry.
Hit points.
No, it was more of a magical effect. He just didn't wake up with the rest of us.
Okay, have you guys used detect magic on him? I'm assuming one of you guys have.
I don't know.
No.
Taboo, be quiet.
I don't. So there was a roll, and I think what you determined was that I think you tried like lesser restoration or something.
If I recall, I kind of did a
We
message.
observed.
I kind of did message inside Versil's head and had a conversation with the seer.
Right.
Right.
So you determined that it was kind of similar to a curse, but that you didn't have a spell strong enough to break it of your own will. Now, Echo, when you look at the orb with a 21, same. You see these shadowy shapes, and then flashes from your past. Things that it's strange. The things that haunt you in your dreams every night, images of something that is haunting you from your past, and it looks you in the eyes, and it draws you in closer. It tries to bait you in closer.
Who investigated the orb first?
Van Helsing did? Me?
Okay. So after I look at the orb and I see my past and whatnot, I have the inkling that the orb is showing us each our personal fears. So
I don't got no fears.
go ahead and investigate and let's see what the orb says.
No.
Before
I'll go ahead and roll to investigate the orb myself, just to give judgment on your question.
and as you roll, I'm going to
17 plus.
17
uh,
plus 3, 20.
No, you're not proficient in investigation.
No, I'm not.
Oh, no, wait. Why is yours so much different? No, you're not proficient in it.
Okay, so just 17.
And I am. Oh my gosh! I thought I was prepared.
Come on, game master.
I tell you what.
He's trying to find your character background. He's like,
No.
what is it? Yes, you are.
What? The DM doesn't know our stories? How dare?
Wow.
Where were you born?
as just to fill the time, I look at Van Helsing and Lucifer and the rest of the party, and I just ask where they're from, as they feel out of place from this city.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Tabubu, no one asked you.
Okay, so
Question: can I pick up and vigorously shake the orb?
Don't do that.
I am investigating, sir. You can hold
Okay.
that.
well, so we'll get back to
Lucifer
the.
rolled a-
Okay,
Lucifer rolled a 17 to investigate it.
Okay, so as you investigate the orb, as you look closer, you see yourself and almost, for lack of a better word, a montage of different experiences through your life. You see tragedies, you see triumphs, you see many of the defining moments that you feel define you as an individual, and things you hold close as things that you have learned. Now, before you can get a holistic view, Van Helsing does pick up the orb
Oh no.
and shake the orb. And at that moment,
Uh-oh.
upon touching the orb,
What did you do, Van Helsing?
you all find yourselves back in the mist.
And
I couldn't even get us drinks first, dude.
However,
we already paid for him.
however,
Exactly. That's gold out of my pocket.
where before you were all in the mist, alone, isolated, you are now standing together.
Oof.
Am I still holding the orb?
The orb,
Somebody take it out of his hands.
No, the orb is not in your hands. The orb is floating in front of you as you stand semicircularly in a row until it shifts and it grows and limbs sprout from the orb. Long fingers protrude out, followed by arms and legs, until with a swirling motion, the orb becomes again the seer.
Oh, hell no.
Pull out my sword.
Van Helsing, I do not recommend you try to fight this woman.
Let's hear what she has to say first.
So
There's
you're
no
saying,
need for that. There's
Miss
no
Seer.
need.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
listening.
You were pretty much getting a piggyback ride by my friend Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I was going for the ride, as I'm everywhere and nowhere, my dear.
Oh,
However,
Kinky.
I'm glad to see that you've all arrived. This one started to miss you.
Huh?
And you didn't notice. But the seer looks down, and holding hands with seer is Dracil. Run along now, child. She releases him. And Dracil runs straight back to Atlas.
oh,
I look at the seer and I ask her, is us coming here and meeting your doing, or?
I am not the one who brought you here. You've all come of your own accord. I do, however, wish to deliver to you a warning, as I have many others. I have your fate. And at that moment, she holds up her bony hand and reveals to you
ooh.
five cards. Now, before we started the campaign, I had everyone text me a number.
I
That's
did.
not true.
I did.
Hold on a minute.
Somebody texted a number on your behalf, or maybe I just said it and you called out a number or something.
Interesting. I don't
but-
recall.
But this
Same.
is
It's been
no
quite a
okay. And Van Helsing and Lucifer, this is before you joined.
Understandable.
But I do have cards that were drawn from a shuffled deck. So, for example, Echo, if you gave me the number 23, I shuffled the deck and pulled 23 cards, and that was the one that I've drawn, right?
Okay.
Now,
I
if we
remember
were
giving a number.
I don't either.
check the
You both
thread
did.
now, if we were all together, this would be a tarot reading, and it would be on the table.
Oh,
However,
that's so cool. Make it feel like that.
I got my cards.
she goes, I have 5 cards for you. The first 3 may help you during your time here. This card tells of history, knowledge of the ancient that will help you better understand your enemy. As she flips the card, and if everybody can see that, you've drawn the warrior. That which you seek lies in the womb of darkness, the devil's lair, the one place which he must return. And if I need to slow down, let me know. I know Bailey is taking notes, which I appreciate. I very much appreciate it.
Handwritten notes.
Okay, moving on. This next card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. The monk. The treasure you seek is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. Her hand hovers over the third card. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. The Avenger. The treasure lies in a dragon's house, in hands once clean and now corrupted. Next. The fourth card. This card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in your battle against darkness. I see a man, cloaked in fur and covered in blood of beasts. He wanders the mist, cleansing it of darkness, but the darkness won't rest until its master sleeps forever. And the final card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. The Executioner. I see a dark figure on a balcony, looking down upon his tortured land with a twisted smile.
Yeah.
As I have said to you before, Echo, the future is uncertain, but your fates remain. Now, I've given you your warning, and I'll be watching.
Ooh, that was a lot of
And
information.
at that moment, the mist recedes. You shake off kind of a lightheadedness as if you're waking from a dream when you find yourself back in the warmth of the tavern. And Drasil begins to stir and shake on the table where he lays.
Jasil.
You're awake.
Jasil, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
Little bad.
A little bad?
Yep.
Do you want something to eat?
I want to eat. I want to.
Just try not to your friends this time.
I want to eat a.
I was expecting him to say me.
Would you like a spider?
I would like some worms.
Some worms? Okay, we'll get you some worms.
Am I holding the orb again?
You are. However, where once you held a crystal ball the size of a bowling ball, you're now grasping a small orb, about 3 inches in diameter, and the light has faded.
I throw it on the ground as hard as I can.
No! Can I catch it?
I also want to catch it.
All of us try to catch it.
Performance.
Play my
All of us.
Make
I say throw it. I say throw it.
Make both of you make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
No.
20.
I rolled a 22, and Lucifer was right next to me. She can vouch for that.
Oh gosh. Well, I have a 12. If we combine our forces and our hands on blood, we
I
catch
rolled-
it.
The orb.
I'll say this. So with it, you rolled a 22, Van Helsing?
Yes.
Okay, and
I rolled
Atlas,
a
you rolled a
20.
20? Okay.
Yes.
So you do throw it. And I'll say, Atlas, you do come so close to catching it
Yeah.
that it
Does the power of the nat 20 override a?
did you roll a natural 20?
No.
Well then
Then why? It was
hoping
bad.
so.
Why are you asking?
I'm hoping
the
someone-
question?
I want to save this orb.
well, again, the rolls were very close. So I'll say this. You don't catch it, but it does hit your hand and the momentum of it does diminish slightly. I will say, Atlas, you suffer, as it's a projectile, 3 points of bludgeoning damage before the orb does make contact with the floor. It's a kind of a spongy hard wood, but it does clunk on the floor. If you do it, once you retrieve the orb, you'll see that a hairline fracture is now in the alabaster stony
I was
glass.
I was going to interrupt.
Sure.
I didn't actually get to say what I was wanting to do, but
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't like listening. Oh no,
Go
you're
ahead.
fine. I was wanting to let my wing kind of like lay on the ground below the area where he was going to smash it in to
Mhm.
see if it could, maybe buffer some of the blow, regardless of the hit points I do take. But if you want the orb to have a hairline fracture, I mean,
Well, I'll say make a dexterity saving throw as well.
Oh,
I got a 17.
she got a
17?
17.
Okay, so I'll say between the two, as you know, nobody was able to catch it, and he obviously wouldn't aim it at your wing. But between the effort of the three of you, you did manage to prevent it from shattering.
Okay.
And no, there is no damage, and because Atlas suffered the damage of making the momentum really slow, you don't take any damage.
I'm gonna pick up the orb and put it in my pocket.
I look at Atlas
Van
and
Helsing?
I look at Atlas and I say this. I'm like, if you want to carry a cursed object with you, be my guest. But that thing just threw us into something we just got out of. I don't want anything to do with it.
Van Helsing.
I'm gonna stare at Van Helsing with my dragon eyes and cast a message and say, if you do anything to disrupt this magic, I will burn you while you sleep.
Ooh.
And I look at him dead in the face. And I'm like, good luck. I don't sleep.
Okay.
Van Helsing, completely enraged. The hell was that for? You know the rest of the drinks tonight are on your pocket.
I look at her. I'm broke. Good luck.
It's called a tab. Build it up.
I can remedy that. You hear from a man now entering the tavern on the other side of the building. He makes his way over. He goes, not to intrude, but it's not often that we see new faces, and I'd be happy to pay for your wine. We don't have ale, but we have plenty of wine here in Barovia to share.
I use intimidation on the man and ask him who he is.
Roll for intimidation.
11 plus 2. So 13.
If you get us kicked out of this town,
Let's see.
you're
Hold
going
on,
in a
hold on, hold on.
grave.
Okay, he rolled a 12.
13.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, no offense. He does take a step back. He says, "My name is Ismark. I am the son of the burgomaster here, or I should say the late burgomaster. I mean, you know, no harm, no intrusion. I simply wish to buy you some wine."
I'll take you up on that.
Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 7 goblets. Make it 8 for the table, please. And for the little one.
Worms.
Yeah, he
And-
would like some worms if you have something.
And some worms. The barkeep looks at Ismark with a very confused look before glancing over at one of the women who's counting coin by the door, and she wasn't paying attention, but he says, "Worms, ma'am," and she looks at you and she looks at the barkeep and she goes, "You heard them, the customer's always right." Go. And the barkeep begrudgingly heads out into the rain to sift through the mud to try to find some worms.
I would just like to ask. Hold on, baby. I would just like to ask out loud, not as Atlas, but was the burgomaster from our letter or from theirs?
Both.
Okay.
So we would recognize that title.
Right. Now, you both, Atlas, Echo, Tawuwu, and Drasil received a letter that said, "The love of my life is in danger. Please come to Barovia. We are a land of great wealth. And if you can help us, we will pay you riches beyond your wildest dreams." And it was signed the burgomaster. Lucifer and Van Helsing, you found a very different letter on the road to Barovia that was also signed by the burgomaster.
And Atlas stole it and ran away.
No,
It was not Atlas. It was Bailey.
It was a Fealties.
It field
Oh,
tease.
fealties. That's right. My bad.
Right. So Bailey. And this will get less confusing as we become more consistent. So, Echo and Tawuwu, Bailey was playing a character named Ephialtes, who hired their group to help him hunt a werewolf. Now, they stumbled on a letter in the woods that basically served as a warning to those who would come to Barovia. Well, I'm not going to say what it says, but he asked for the letter. He gave them the letter, and then he ran into the mist, and he was gone.
Lodi.
I have a question for the man that just bought us wine. I asked him, I'm like, do you know of a strange man named Fealties in this area? He owes us coin for hunting a werewolf for him.
I can't say I do. Again, we don't get much traffic here in Barovia, at least in these parts.
But I'm assuming
we do see a lot of strange faces come and go, but those are mainly those who work for the devil in the castle.
The castle, you said. Can you tell us more about this castle?
Oh yes, as you were coming into Barovia, you did see kind of a silhouette in the distance. Castle Ravenloft. It's the home to Strahd. He is our curse. He is the devil incarnate as far as I'm concerned. He sends his beasts during the day and during the night to plague us here. He is the reason for much of our suffering.
I see.
He's actually what I was hoping to discuss with you.
Oh, well, I guess we're on the right track then.
I just want to take out the letter and hand it to him, saying, so you wanted us, as I hand him the letter, to take care of Strahd?
So he takes the letter. He spends a moment to examine it. And after a moment, you see his brow furrow, and he says, I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, which is an understatement. I can tell you this was not written by my father. Strahd likes to toy with the outside world by bringing in adventurers such as yourselves by the dozens under false pretense. None of them survive. But I think if you play it smart, there may be a way to get back at him yet. But I'm here for my sister, Irina.
And no offense, but what is the nature of this mist that is frankly keeping us from walking out at this moment?
The mist is what keeps us here. It won't hurt you. However, if any of our people that have tried to leave Barovia, if they enter the mist, they begin to choke, to see things. Those who come back are never the same. And those who don't turn back, we haven't seen them. They're not seen again. It holds us here.
Within this mist, as your people claim, they see creatures or beasts, perhaps?
Well, not even in the mist. They come into the village.
Oh.
In fact, they are the reason that the burgomaster is indeed the late burgomaster. You see, Strahd has sent his beasts to our home repeatedly. I'm not sure why, but he seems to be fixated on my sister.
And where is your sister currently?
She's at our home. The beasts, we've managed to keep them back for the most part. But the
they
stress,
come greater each time.
they do. And it is my hope that as my sister Irina can't leave the house, leave our home, she's vulnerable. I want her out of here. As far away as possible. To Krex, Valeki, it's highly fortified. They have soldiers. They have the means to protect her where I cannot.
What was the name of that place?
Valeki.
So you wish for us to escort her?
I don't have much to give, but I would give all we have in our treasury, in our home. Anything you want is yours. I just want Irina to be safe, and she's never going to be safe here.
How old is your sister?
That's a great question.
Something the DM did not think of.
Something the book does not say, to be fair.
Make it part of your own story then.
Right. I'll say for the sake of this, she is young.
I knew
18, 19. But she has a ferocity well beyond her years, let me tell you. She would stay and fight if she could. And if I let her have her way, she probably would. But the devil has had his way with her more than once.
And
I
this
can
straw that you speak, what does he want with Irina?
I don't know. I can tell you that where before we don't often see him. We don't often see the devil Strahd out of his castle. He usually sends his beasts, bats, wolves, to do his bidding. However, one day he appeared at our home, and my sister was foolish enough to invite him in. He bit her. He didn't kill her. But since that night, he's been back almost every night to try to, I don't know, finish the job, take her away. All I know is
Regardless,
it's not safe. It's not safe.
I kick my feet up on the table and I look at him dead in the face and I'm like, it looks like you have a vampire on your hands and he has a hots for your sister. He's trying to make her a queen. So I say we stake this son of a bitch and get it out the way quick and clean.
But that doesn't.
I'm not talking
stop
about your
from-
sister. By the way, have your sister been showing any symptoms of wanting blood from anyone else? Trying to bite someone on the neck, on the arm?
No, she's very much herself. And we've seen the vampires spawn, believe me. Twisted forms of their former selves. It's not that way with
Does she
her.
stay up later at night? Does she seem to be sleeping during the day? Does she cover her windows, mirrors?
No, she is still very much herself. And mind you, this was maybe 6 months ago. So I think if we were going to see some change, we would have seen it by now. I think his plans are more permanent, for better or worse.
I look at him dead in the face and I'm like, he marked her. It doesn't matter how far we bring her, how far we go with her. He will always know where she is. He didn't change her, but he marked her. I've seen this in many, many battles before that I've been in where someone has been marked by a vampire.
All the more reason to get her somewhere safe.
It doesn't matter where we go. She will never be safe. We have to kill this demon or devil, as you call him. That is the only way to be sure that she is safe.
I would like nothing better. But believe me, many have tried. If you can find a way, by all means. Though you'll not find much help here. Not for lack of wanting, but we have few that are capable.
I look at this Mog and I would ask, has your family reached out for any holy protection? Any fortification through holy means?
We do have a priest. He's done what he can, and I believe it has helped. The beasts have never made it inside, though they have wreaked havoc on the walls. Our nights are spent listening sleepless to the noise of claws and teeth mashing against our walls, and the days are spent repairing them.
I see.
We're at a loss. Again, sir, you may be right. There may be nowhere that she can go where she'll truly be safe. And frankly, none of us will be safe until Strahd is dealt with and gone. But I don't know how. I mean, how does one kill a vampire? Strahd has been in this land for, as far as we know, hundreds of years. You don't think anyone has tried in that time?
I'm not saying anyone has tried in that time, but if you're asking how to kill a vampire, it's fairly simple. We take a stake to his heart.
Well,
but getting close enough, that's going to be the challenge.
What if it's not that, though, Helsing? What if it's something else? What
else would bite someone to mark them?
I'm not saying he's not a vampire, Helsing. I'm just saying You know, maybe people have actually staked the guy.
The only other way to kill a vampire would be to chop its head off.
And I'm pretty sure they have tried that as well. There may be something magical to it.
Van Helsing, roll a history check for me.
Huh?
Roll a history check.
Hold on, let me. 16.
16 total?
Yeah, I don't have perception.
Okay.
I'm not proficient in history.
You see if there's something that would be better suited. I mean, with a 15 or 16, sorry, in your background, you are a monster hunter.
Yep.
You've seen cases, and you know that there is more than one way to kill a vampire. However, the permanent way is indeed a stake through the heart while the vampire is in their resting place. So, in other words, you would know if a vampire is killed, it reverts to a mist form and returns to its resting place to recover. That's why they are so hard to deal with. You have to know where they rest and kill them permanently. So again, that's for your knowledge. You would know that.
Yeah.
Is there any place in the town where one might be able to do more research or any magical texts or anything within this area?
Nothing magical save the priest whose magic is pulled from the divine, though his magic is limited. He has the means to help the sick, and we are grateful, but beyond that, he's no warrior.
I got a question for you. Can the priest make any sort of holy water?
Seems like a question.
Can I believe, and again, if we had Artemis here, I believe she would say that she can. So one of your party members, the cleric, can. So you presume that he could purify something.
But he's not here.
Well, they're there. Your party is all together. It's just our participants aren't here.
Okay.
And I don't know. I have to confirm. I know that is a spell that's available to her. I don't know if she has it prepared or at this level.
As from what I see, she does not have a purification.
Okay, so maybe she will a little bit later because that's something that we did discuss.
Question.
Sure.
Holy water, is that under like medicine or is that something particular to the
You would.
cleric?
Look it up. You'd have to cast a holy spell on a bottle of water to make it holy water. I don't think just purification alone would make it holy water.
Well, I'm not saying I have purification by any means. I'm a bard, but I'm also primordial. I'm pretty much an angel.
No, so and again, so we're all learning here, and me especially. So a cleric or paladin may create holy water by performing a special ritual. It takes 1 hour to perform and uses 25 gold worth of powdered silver and requires the caster to expend a level 1 spell slot. So yes, any cleric or paladin can create actual holy water. Yeah.
That's what I
got a
thought.
question though. Since Lucifer is an angel, could we like, I don't know, like, is there anything holy about her? Like maybe like we could scrape something off her skin or something?
Don't you
Use
dare
her
cut
blood,
me.
maybe?
Don't you dare cut me.
To what purpose?
To make holy water, to make something holy water.
blood.
I
mean, since she's an angel, she has to have some type of angelic or holy essence in her, and maybe we could use her blood.
Helsing, you're pushing your limits.
It might be best just to agree to have your sister come with us for the time being.
if
We'd have to discuss this more later.
With all due respect, if they've held out for 6 months, I feel like they can hold out another night. I think that we should go see the father.
This
So
isn't
see,
our
do we
original
have-
mission. You're right.
Do we have those tarot cards, or were they just shown to us?
They were shown to you, and I know I went through them quick. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to go back over them.
Well, it would seem to me that is that church the only one in town, or is there?
It is. We only have one chapel.
I look to the others and saying, I don't know about you, but I think if the seer told us about these objects, that might help. Church might be a great place to find a holy symbol.
I agree.
For what?
To go to the chapel.
No, I'm asking what will the holy symbol be for?
I don't know, perhaps it depends on what the symbol was, but she didn't seem ill. She didn't seem like she wanted to do us harm. If we're here and we're stuck here unless we kill Strahd, then the holy symbol might help us in some way. Depending.
So what's our goal? Are we trying to leave empty-handed?
I don't think we're gonna find anyone to pay us here.
Again, and this is Ismark. We aren't devoid of wealth. However, we are not rich folk. Now, if you were to agree to escort my sister, I would pay you more than enough to cover expenses and get you safely to the town of Vallaki, which is not too far. However, the two of us alone on the road, we wouldn't make it.
You mentioned the fortress, and again, if it's within reason, I would think it would be better to bless that area first.
Bless the castle?
Right. If she's been safe in the house for 6 months, taking her out without means of protecting that castle other than its stone.
The castle is where Strahd lives.
Oh.
Sorry if I didn't communicate that very well. No,
So
the-
you want us to
I
take
thought
your
it was another. I
sister-
thought it was another place in the fortress that she wanted to
I'm
take.
sure we'll see different fortresses along the way.
No,
just not
so-
with my Strahd.
So Vallaki is a town that is northwest of where we are now. They do have walls, they do have soldiers, or at the very least men and women who I feel could defend my sister at the very least better than we can here. So they are fortified, although there's no fortress there to my knowledge.
I take a sip of my wine and I speak up. If we're getting one major thing though, the mist, does that not just cover this entire town? Or is it only covering the entrance or exit to this town?
We are in the village of Barovia, true, but Barovia is a very large land, a country spanning miles. The mist encompasses the country, not just our town. So we've had no issues traveling from place to place within Barovia as a whole. But if we try to leave to go elsewhere, that's when the mist comes into play.
All right, bring us to the girl. We'll accept your offer. We'll take her to a different city, but I warn you, we're most likely probably gonna get attacked on the way.
I wanna help.
Drusilla, you'll always be a good help to us.
I thank you, young one. And by the way, throughout this conversation, the barkeep has come and obviously delivered your wine, as well as a small wooden it's a coaster, but worn through years of condensation, has curved almost into a slight bowl that he has filled generously with worms.
Oh,
So Drusilla, you have your worms. So Ismark looks at you and says, "I thank you so much. And if there's anything else I can do, if there's anything I can do to help you along your way, please let me know. There's a lot of work to do here since my father's passing. But whenever you're ready, Irene awaits at our family home, and we'd be happy to receive you there."
I look at him, I'm like, can this priest of yours, does he know any type of enchantment?
Again, I feel more specific questions for the priest should be spoken to the priest.
Again, I don't know of any magics that he may possess apart from perhaps healing the sick, which he certainly does. And you made mention to holy water or perhaps some sort of blessing. I've seen him do that on time to time. So he could definitely do that. As far as any type of greater enchantment, I wouldn't know.
I look at the table and so would it be better to help move the sister now, or should we talk to the priest and see if there might be some prep that we might be able to do to make this easier? Certainly, if you've heard there's going to be lots of things coming.
I look at the party, I'm like, it'd be foolish to just leave if we have a possibility to maybe bless our weapons so it'd make our travels just a little bit easier.
I look at Echo and Toulouse and say,
if you are headed to the priest, perhaps there's another matter of which you could provide some assistance. My father's body still rests within our family home, and I would be pleased to see him have a proper burial. And you've seen this young man who's been unnaturally optimistic with all of these surroundings. You see him begin to be shaken a little bit. You see the eyes watering at the thought of actually having to say goodbye to his father, the burgomaster, the mayor of this place, whom he and so many respects.
We shall assist you in giving your father a proper burial, young man.
We've seen many adventurers come through, but by all the gods, I hope that you're different. I pray for your success. Thank you for your help.
Of course.
Would you like to go now?
Not to ruin the moment, but if we're going to your home anyways, again, should we move your sister as that might be more pressing, or?
As you said, I'd like her moved as soon as possible, but it'll be sunrise soon. Most of our troubles do seem to come at night, so we have some time. And those few men we have, we'll do our best to watch over her until you're ready to leave.
I throw back the rest of my wine and I go, all right. Well, no time like the present. Let's get going.
Don't you think we should at least rest before we start on another adventure?
Bye.
Okay.
Let's regain our strength for a couple short hours. As you said, the problems calm down during the day. If we rest until sunrise, then we can all get a start for a safe passage.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And you see he stands with his hope kind of rejuvenated. You have brought some hope to someone who has not known hope in a very, very long time.
Mm.
He takes the letter that you gave him, and on the back of it kind of scribbles a rough map of a couple of key places around the town, including where you can find his home. He gives it to you. And he says, when you're ready, this is where you'll find me. You'll find us. I hope to see you soon.
All right.
He leaves, but not before paying for your drinks. And hearing you speak of rest, he pays for one night of your lodgings for the evening.
And be
Or at least until morning.
Right. Well,
As-
24 hours. You have a 24-hour kind of stay in this place.
Okay.
As he's walking out of the door, he doesn't have to turn around, but I'll cast message and say that we're going to do what we can for your sister and help the town. Hopefully we can make this place as much as home as you remember.
Upon hearing this in his mind, he does hesitate for a moment, tries to figure out what the hell that was. But with a sallow nod, he continues walking out the door before the 8 of you traverse the stairs into your own rooms, where you begin to have sleep. Uninterrupted sleep this time, as you take a long rest, avert exhaustion, and prepare for whatever the journey holds in store next time.